Hello there. What is going on, everyone? Today I am bringing to you an Armada build focusing on an Interdictor and an extra Victory because a lot of people have been picking up Interdictors and Victories. They've been on sale lately, and I figured I would just put them together in a build. I figured I would use two Victories and an Interdictor because everybody's already got one from the core set, so I figured we'd use an extra one for our ships for this build. So, let's go ahead and start putting them out there. And while I do that, I want to remind you guys there is another round of the giveaway going on right now, so you can win an expansion of your choice in the form of an Amazon gift card for 25 bucks. All you have to do is be a subscriber and leave a comment. It's as simple as that. So we're going to do a Vic 1 and a Vic 2. And we're also going to add an Interdictor suppression refit. They have the double experimental retrofits, so we're going to use both of those. It's definitely the best bang for your buck. I mean, this is a overly costed ship and, kind of underperforms. So the only real reason to take it, or I should say the best reason to take it, is for the experimental retrofits. We're definitely going to use both of those. So if you did pick up an extra Victory and you picked up an Interdictor, this is maybe a build you can use. It is going to use stuff from outside of these expansions as well, but I just thought I would kind of focus on this. One of the things we are definitely going to do is we're going to have our commander be Gergerod. We'll put him on the Interdictor. Now, Gergerod is really, really nice. Comes with the Architens. Those have been back in stock lately as well, but Gergerod's just going to be great. There's a lot of things that have improved medium ships lately, and so there's the things that we're going to use. But Gergerod's just good for that, especially for the Victories in case you need to speed them up. They can really turn like excellently. But another thing that Victories are good for is they're actually good carriers. So we're going to put some Squadrons in this build. This one's actually going to be in the middle. It's actually going to be a little bit more of a medium Squadron build. You don't see a whole lot of those, but the article we had the other day for Armada kind of got me thinking about medium squad builds. And so I thought I would put one together. So I think I'll start from the top and we'll work our way down. So I am going to, as a medium squad build, first thing I'll do is I'm going to use this top Vic primarily as a carrier. And one of the things I want to do as a carrier is if I'm going medium squad, I want to lighten the amount of squads I have to put. So I'm not really going to have too many support squadrons. So I'm not going to run intel. And I've talked about this before. I think Chirano is really, really great if you want to run medium squads. You don't have to have intel. You can still activate squads and move them. And that's just really, really nice. So I like this, and I'm going to give this guy a lot of squadron support. And he makes a good carrier because he's got that squadron value of 3, but he's also got, pretty good shields, 8 hull. It's hard to kill. His biggest weakness is that he's slow and can't turn, but Gergerod really helps that. So makes him more well-rounded. So we've got flight controllers to increase our squadrons. If we do need to do some counter squadron play, they're going to have an extra blue die when they activate. So that's going to be helpful. We're going to put boosted comms on here. Boosted comms, just giving us that extra long range for activation. It's going to definitely be helpful. Since we are slow, we're likely to have squadrons run out of range. And I'm going to also activate Corruptor. And this is going to be a pretty cool interaction between Corruptor and Chirano, because Chirano will change, if they're engaged, the Chirano is going to say, well, they have a printed speed of 2, and then Corruptor, for any bombers I activate, will get +1, so then they will actually be able to move provisionally at speed 3, which is nice. Now, granted, your bombers may already be faster than that. If they're not engaged, then maybe they can move up to speed 5 for a regular TIE bomber, because we are going to use those. For our Vic 2s, this one's going to be the heavy firepower ship. Vic 2s are very, very nice. Potentially one of the strongest long-range attacks you'll ever see. Primarily because of disposable capacitors allowing that front arc to add those blue dice, so you can get 3 red and 3 blue right away. An incredible front arc shot. You can put spinal armaments on here, but I am going to add quad battery turrets for the chance of an extra die. Plus also because it's cheap and it can work out of any arc, potentially. But also because I am going with heavy ion emplacements from the MC75 expansion. You don't have to use this one if you don't want to. If you're going to change it up, if you don't have heavy ions, I would probably say put spinal armament on there, and maybe if you're not going to use that, then definitely go with leading shots for rerolls. You could do that as well. that's perfectly fine. But I think we have a pretty good chance of getting a blue crit with all the blue dice that we're going to have. We're going to have 3 blue in the front, maybe 4 blue in the front, then concentrate fire maybe. Because we won't really have to nav as much because we'll have Gergerod. So we have, we actually have the flexibility to be able to concentrate fire if we really want to. Additionally, to make the most out of our chance to try to get that blue crit, we're going to put gunnery teams in here so we can potentially shoot 2 ships. And so, now granted, heavy ions you can only use 1 time, so per turn. So if you miss on the first ship, you can get a chance to try it again on the second ship. So that's kind of the thing we're going for here. Pretty strong frontal attack. Would be nicer with rerolls, but Gergerod I think was a little more important than Vader for this particular build, but you could definitely make an argument for going with Vader potentially as well, especially if this Vic 1 gets you in black die range. Now that's one thing I'm not doing, is I'm not doing anything for the Vic 1's black dice. I don't know if we're going to be in range to use them or not, but I mean they're still effective on their own, but considering it's so slow, I didn't want to put all my eggs in a basket that might not pay off. I figured this favoring him more as a tanky carrier. He'll still be able to roll the black dice if he gets in range, but we're saving points. Now we come down to the Interdictor. This is the one that's going to be really good support stuff. We're not, however, going to go ahead and do any of the heavy ion stuff, because you could also put disposable capacitors and heavy ion emplacements on the Interdictor as well. It's actually got some teeth when you do that, but that makes it a little harder to fit because not everybody runs has multiple MC75 expansions to be able to run 2 copies of heavy ions. So in the interest of points and flexibility, I've just put our experimental retrofits on this one. So we're going to definitely go with targeting scrambler. If we do get people into close range, and we may want to be in close range, especially with that Vic 1, targeting scrambler is going to definitely help keep us alive. We are also going to go with my favorite, is the grab shift reroute. We're going to be able to change the board around, and that's one of the ways that this build can potentially try to win. And we'll put Interdictor title on there also so we can target scrambler twice. That is all we're going to put on this ship. This is my flagship, so I could definitely make an argument for putting somebody like Brunson on here, or even another different somebody else, maybe Grint, to get extra engineering tokens or something like that. However, we're not doing that. We are going to have some squadrons that'll also help kind of keep us alive as well, because they will keep all the squadron bombardments off of us. So let's talk about squadrons. So for the squadrons for this build, I am going to go back to one of my favorite squadron. Whoops, these are ships. There we go. One of my favorite squadron setups is in that we're going to use Valen Rudor and 2 lambdas. Really, really strong grouping of squadrons right here. Now, Valen Rudor, if you're not familiar, enemy squadrons that are engaged with him have to attack another squadron. They can't attack you as long as there's another squadron that they're engaged with. So, just really the ultra coward, right? He forces you to attack somebody else, which is great because if you have the lambda right next to them, they have to shoot the lambda. That turns the lambda from having heavy into having escort, and even against squadrons with grit, because you will have Valen Rudor and a lambda engaged, so they're going to have to shoot lambdas. That's really good. And then you're engaged. Now, if you want to move them, then you can just activate them with Chirano and then move them again. So that's good. Also, relay will allow us to fly pretty far ahead. And we already have boosted comms. That might be overkill in this case, but I still wanted to have it anyway in case we have to get really far ahead, just in case. So relay is going to be helpful. Also, in case we'll probably be using the Victory 2 as a carrier as well. We'll probably be doing a healthy amount of squadron commands there. Maybe not all squadron commands, but at least some squadron commands. So we want to make sure that relay can help us have some choice in who we activate depending on the situation. So relay is just going to be really good for that. And we have 2 of those, and then we're going to run 3 TIE bombers also. 3. These, hopefully more of you have access to these now. The Imperial Squadrons one came back in stock. They instantly sold out, but that means a lot of people bought them. I'm sure a lot of stores probably still have some in stock, so you can probably still get those. Looks really cool. So I'm just hoping that we'll be able to get those. It just it looks good for the future. That as they're ordering product, it's selling out immediately. That's very exciting. But yes, so 3 TIE bombers. and then 2 Lambdas and Valen Rudor. That gives us 6 Squadrons. So again, kind of in the middle. That's about 70 points worth of Squadrons. It's not the bare minimum. It's certainly above the where you would find people running just a token 2 Squadrons or something like that. And in Valen Rudor and the Lambdas are actually in there for multiple purposes. First off, the Lambdas are great for moving objective tokens around, because we're going to get to objective tokens. But they're also really good at attacking other squadrons, because you're going to have the 2 black dice and blue dice potentially, right? And a blue die from flight controllers. That's pretty good against squadrons. Same thing with Valen Rudor. He's going to give me 3 black and a blue. That's going to be really good for eliminating enemy squadrons. And the TIE Bomber can focus solely on the ships. The Lambdas will be able to keep, hopefully we'll be able to tie up enemy squadrons here, or we can move strategic objectives around. The bombers won't even have to worry about being tied up by enemy squadrons, because I've got Chirano. So granted, this Victory is going to have to choose who he wants to activate. That's the only real downside, is like, all right, do I want to go with my TIE Bombers, or do I want to activate the Lambdas? And you're going to be able to make that decision when it comes down to it. And so that's going to be the real fun of this whole build. And this TIE Bombers can do a lot of damage. They really can, especially if this Victory goes first and brings down those shields, and then the TIE Bombers fly in and just start rolling, double damage. Would be really nice. So now we're going to look at objectives, because objectives are going to be really fun with a build like this, because they're going to be different. This is a build, we're at 400 points. We're probably going to be second player, and that's why we want objectives that offer no good solutions to our opponent. So for our red one, I could definitely make an argument for something like targeting beacons, because that's going to give us rerolls. We really don't have much in the way of rerolls, so targeting beacons could be great in a build like this. However, it's not that great. It certainly doesn't give your opponent anything, but I think what we want is we want things that are even worse. And so in this case, I think we want to go with Station Assault. The reason I think we want to go with Station Assault is because we've got Grav Shift Reroute on that Interdictor that can pull the station back even further, and we can push those stations in a really difficult position for our opponent to get to, and make it really hard for them to get, because that can get us 80 points. And that's great, because especially if we've got slow ships, we can play real slow. They're going to have to come to us, and that's the thing. You're going to make your opponent force them to come to you, and you can engage on your terms. That's the beauty of it, and I love it. For our yellow, I'm going to go with Fire Lanes. The exact same thing. I could definitely make arguments for other things. Contested Outpost is also a very good option. You've definitely forced your opponent to come to you, but Fire Lanes even more so. And we do have a lot of dice. We're going to have those Victories pointed forward. We're going to have lots of dice on these things. But the Lambdas are what's really going to make Fire Lanes the keeper here, because we'll be able to continue to move those objectives back closer to us, farther away from the opponent, out of reach of the opponent, eventually in our rear arcs of our ships that our opponent can't get to. And we're just going to force them to come to us. Fire Lanes can get you so many points. It's obscene. And next up for navigation, we're going to go with Salvage Run. Salvage Run uses a lot of obstacles in the middle, and something like Grav Shift Reroute is going to completely let you redesign the battlefield however you want. And then the Lambdas will be able to fly into this mess, pull all of those tokens away closer to you. It's going to be absolutely perfect. Salvage Run is just a really good one for Lambdas and an Interdictor. So those are our objectives, and that is the build, everybody. Here, let's pull up a little print of it. Yeah, that's it, guys. I want to thank you all. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. That's about all we've got for the video today. Hopefully you found this helpful, and yeah, make sure you subscribe and leave a comment. Enter to win that gift card, and that's all I've got to you. Big thanks to all my patrons on Patreon. You guys are amazing. Definitely help make this all possible. I want to thank you guys. I want to thank everyone, and as always, have a great day.